Hello, I'm Big Jim Slade, and welcome to the Grouch Couch. That's the first time I've actually said that. It's pretty impressive. But you're here tuning into Improv Quest, an episodic D&D show where everything we do is made up and the stats only kind of matter. Not really, let's be honest. But before we dive in, let's meet our players for tonight's episode and their character. Hey, let's start going around the horn. We'll start with... just to my right here, Cookie, played by Children of Proteus. Tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Proteus /Kate /Cookie /Fish Daddy. Hi, hello. /Bonquita Albertson. I am the main artist here on the Grouch Couch, and you should go pick up some cool merch that me and Turkey have made together. Yeah, look at that. Jim's wearing it like a fucking... Hi, hello. I make all the cool art that you guys like to see on the merch stuff, but also I make comic books as myself, and I stream here on Twitch. Hi, hello. All right, it's Connor's turn.
Hello, everybody. I'm Connor, otherly known as Psycho Stash. I'm playing Ronald Bon Billsworth. I'm a rich daddy money boy, and I'm a rogue.
And I would really like everybody to welcome a new player at the table here on the Grouch Couch.
Oh, you.
Turk! Why don't you tell us about yourself?
That's right. I am Turk, and yes, hello, and the, executive producer of the couch, or what have you. I am playing tonight Jackal Jones. I know. Well, what is that? What is that word? Anyways, Jackal Jones is hilarious, and I'm excited to be playing him, and this is the first time that I get to play him in a... I guess this isn't even really D&D, this is still Improv Quest, but you know what? Whatever. Yeah. I'm excited to be playing him, and yes... Turk as Jackal Jones. Be prepared, everybody. Yes.
Excellent. So, before we actually get into it, want to give a quick recap.
Sorry.
No, that was legit. He also banned that, so you got a drink.
I did.
So, Improv Quest is not just us. You, the chat, can help change and shape the story. So, we have... number of commands. Reroll. Any dice can be re-rolled once if chat doesn't like the result. We'll take the new roll whether it's better or worse. After that, you can only use +1 or -1 commands. And even that, we're going to sort of limit a chain of them. Suggestion commands. Now, this one's the cool one. I really love this one myself. You can use a suggestion command at any time to throw out ideas for the players. If a player or I use the suggestion, we'll shout you out by saying, hey, that was pretty great. Forge of Lore actually came up with something really awesome. I'm going to use that. When that happens, we will enter you into a giveaway that we have every 5 episodes. I'm not going to tell you what the giveaway is. That's a secret, but it's going to be pretty cool. Also, as you know, couch coins. When a player uses your suggestion, really? That's how it goes? Okay. They'll also earn a couch coin to spend on in-game perks. At the end of the episode, the player with the most couch coins will be crowned MVP of the night and get to add 1 magical item of their choice to their character sheet. And also, I get some discretion, too. I'm going to finally be able to give couch coins at will. Power's going mad! So, there's a lot of other ways you'll see during the session. Lots of cool ways to interact. The story, the challenges, even some characters and NPCs, we're going to be rolling for them and making them up on the spot. I'm going to be asking chat for names of things, so just use the name command to do that, and we'll get off. So, ready, set, let's share some adventures, and get this show rolling. I almost did a banned word.
Good job, Jim! Good job, Jim! Everybody, come on, can we get some fucking
I'm
good
so
job
proud of me! I'm so proud of me!
I'm proud of Jim, too! Alright,
I'd like to thank the Academy and everybody that helped make this possible.
Intro time, boys and girls, and we'll be right back. Alright. Ooh, rewards. Oh, yes.
back. So, as you may have remembered from last week's episode, the story is told in a tavern, the Tall Tale Tavern, where the party has gathered and are sitting enjoying what the tavern has to offer. Cookie, what are you having today?
Cookie having her favorite meal. Cookie having a nice stew with a big crusty bread bowl and some cheese.
Okay. What? All right, wait. What are you doing while you're eating? Anything special? Anything interesting?
Well, this big orc that and I was sleeping next to him for a while because he looked really lonely. So I gave him 3 pats. He gave me a belly rub, and he seems to be doing much better.
Oh, that's excellent. Ronald, well, you are here in the Tall Tale Tavern. What are you doing and what are you having?
Well, I'll have you know, good chap, I am currently partaking in the wonderful practice of drinking, and I'm quite good at it.
Excellent. And off to the other side here is an odd man with a long hair, beard, and a shiny-looking hat. Jackal, what are you doing in the tavern, and what are you having?
Hey, it's me. So I feel like we can see Jackhole, like, outside the window. There's, like, a dumpster. And you can see Jackhole, like, looking through the window. And then, like, a little cat comes around, like the tavern cat, and, like, gives him a piece of bread. And he's like, "Haynes, you do the best work there, Simon. Anything else going on in there?"
Meow. Meow.
Well said.
Meow.
All right.
As you're talking to Simon, the barmaid comes around, looking at and shoos him off the window, and says, "Why don't you come inside? It's a lot easier to eat and drink if you're inside, mister."
Well, I don't know if I trust the inside. There's magic in there. Everything's out to get me, but if I come in, can I use your fire to toast my bread?
Absolutely, of course. Come on in, sir. Sit over here by these two. Now, there is a tradition here in the Tall Tale Tavern that if you tell a story, an amazing story that everybody raptly listens to and tells the tale of adventure, daring do, and exploits of legend, your bar tab is free and waived for the night. So,
Well, I do like free shit.
So, are you prepared to tell a tale this evening?
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. I'd like somebody to roll me a D100, please.
Cookie on it.
Nice.
Oh.
A 6.
That's a low number.
It is. It is. This is going to be interesting. So, as you begin to tell the tale of the docks at midnight, you've been hired by none other than the proprietor of the Tall Tale Tavern to go and check out the docks because his supplier is not bringing in the alcohol he needs from the far lands, because there's a group of smugglers that have taken over the dock and bringing dangerous cargo into the city. And you find yourself, it's just a little after sunset. Fog is rolling in. You see the docks area before you, several piers, ships quietly at anchor or at the docks, some longshoremen loading and unloading. The fog is lit by these little lanterns every 30 feet or so. And all you can hear is the occasional cursing of sailors and the lapping of the water against the ships and the piers.
Nice.
Now, what we're going to...
story
Oh, sorry.
starts, can we say that Jackal turns to you, Ronald and Cookie, and he's like, well, we should tell that story that one time that the guys was keeping all the booze away from the tavern. That was a good story. Remember that one quest we went on that one time?
Oh, yes, I remember. We were there, and we did extravagant things. Well, mostly me.
Oh.
When I first took Jackal on as a client.
Yes. Indeed. I still haven't paid you. I'm sorry about that.
Cookie don't need payment. Cookie work pro bono.
Oh. Well, that's the kind of stuff I like. That's it. All
Alright, so as we set the scene and it begins, we have to do two things first. One, let's find out our target number, which will be the target for any roll done in the next segment. Saving throws, things like that. See, here's the thing where the tavern master gives himself a reroll.
Okay.
Alright, the target is 11.
Double ones. So if we get one more than once, it's fine.
Sure.
Double one.
You know what? If going around the rolls, if two of you get a nat 1, something interesting will happen other than just a critical failure. Now, what I'd like everybody to do is roll me some initiative to determine our turn order here.
Shit.
Cookie rolled a 20.
There it is. Jesus.
Sir underscore pubit used to reroll Ronald.
Well, I guess I won't be taking that 10. Oh,
You'll get a
it's
2.
Oh,
All right.
wonderful.
Let's have a roll off between Cookie and Jackal, please.
I'm the fastest, Cookie. You ain't gonna get down faster than me.
Cookie got a 15.
Jackal got a 10.
All right. It's the order will be Cookie, Jackal, and then Ronald. So, Cookie, you have the first moment here. The docks are before you. What do?
Well, there, as you said, there's so many boats, and it smells real fishy. It's pungent. It's all in Cookie's nose. But we see all these boats, and it's really hard to discern which one Cookie should be heading for. But you know, there's the extravagant ones that Ronald seems to be like hemming and hawing over, telling us that his yacht is much more beautiful than any of the others. And then there's some shabby ones down the end. But you know, down the end of the dock, we see under not lamplight but in the shadows that there seems to be some guys rolling casks onto a boat.
All right. Give me a perception check, please.
Cookie do her best. No, don't look at that. Cookie hit wrong.
All right, a 12. You have made the target number. As you're watching, you see the kegs rolling up. And they seem to be marked with something that does not look like alcohol markings. Instead, they have what looks like labels on it in a language you can't understand from this distance. And you see them rolling them up into the ships. And then We will go Jackhole. It is your turn.
So I turn to the lads. Hurry. We know why we're here. And I was hired in this job because I know the guy. There's a guy who's trying to stop everybody from drinking. He thinks booze is bad for everyone, but he's wrong. And I'm telling you, this guy, he's a banana. Now, you may not believe when I say that, but he is a banana. Okay? But I know some of the guys on this crew. And then when I say that, I look up and I point, and there's like a kid who's wearing scraggly clothes, but the kid's like smoking a cigarette for some reason. And Jackal's like, that's the guy. I know that guy. He's a criminal. That guy right there. It's a
Got a name.
Are you? I'm trying to decide what the role challenge here is.
I'm gonna say, Ronald, you have a way with words, right? The tiefling child, Ronald. I bet
Believe
if you give
me.
him some coin, he'll talk.
I know how to handle the ruffian children.
All right,
Listen,
with that-
scoundrel, I've been given information that you have information that's privy to our investigation here at the docks. Hand it over, child, or I shall slit thine throat.
All right, give me an intimidation roll.
That's a good
Ew,
suggestion. Asshole.
dreadful.
Too bad it's no longer my turn.
How long do we have to be around these dreadful people? Oh. Intimidation, here he goes. Oh!
The kid looks up at you. Hey, mister. Your sword there, they're like almost like rusty. Yeah, if you're gonna try and scare somebody, you gotta have a better sword than that. So whatever, dude. The rich folks are over there. You're just gonna get your ass kicked down here.
I see. Thank you for the information, young lad. How did I do?
Well,
Let Cookie take a whack at it. Let Cookie try.
Okay, here. Kill him.
No, Cookie believe in non-violence unless dealing with toes.
Okay.
At
Hello.
that, you see the kid kind of shuffle a little bit and pull his sandals in together in like a defensive posture.
Oh no, Cookie didn't come in for your toes. They do look nice though. Do you take care of your toes?
Yeah, of course I do.
Oh, that's a good, because you don't want to get gangrene on your tootsies. That's really bad. It can cause really bad mental strain. Anyway, we have a friend in low places, and he said you might be able to help us maybe discern some kegs that have gone missing. A tin hat foiled gentleman.
what did I know?
Oh, you guys are with him. Oh,
Yeah.
I was hoping you wouldn't see me, Clip Clap. I know the last time we met, I did win in gambling. You may say I didn't win, but I did win.
my name's not Clip Clap. But anyway,
No, I'm sorry, Clocklick.
it's fine. We'll stick with that one then.
Yeah.
What do you? Okay, now roll me a persuasion yourself, Cookie.
What a Cookie Mouse! There you go.
A 6.
Cookie Ro-
Like, I mean, you guys seem nice enough, but he's, if you're with him, it's a little weird. I might have something useful for you, but it's actually gonna probably cost you
_morbid
something.
juiced reroll Cookie.
Cookie gets a reroll.
I'm just excited to see what elements Ronald might add to the scene if this fails.
Another 6.
Another.
Cookie got another 6.
Yeah, no. So maybe if you made it worth my while to give you info and be around this guy.
Sora _morbid just redeemed +1. Cookie.
That's a 7.
Plus or minus 1.
Cheers,
Sora
folks.
_morbid just redeemed +1. Cookie.
That's 8.
Plus or minus 1.
Sora _morbid just redeemed +1. Cookie.
Yeah.
Actually, we're up to 10 now,
or
if
minus
I'm
one.
not mistaken.
Sora _morbid just redeemed +1.
There's 11. You have succeeded, thanks to Sora
Plus
piling
or
on the
minus
channel
one.
points.
Sora _
And one for
morbid
good luck, just to
redeemed
make sure
+1.
nobody minuses you.
Cookie.
All right, so
Baby.
Plus
the
or
child looks
minus
at you.
one.
Sora _morbid just redeemed +1. Cookie.
It's gonna go for a while. Cookie got that kobold
Plus
wrist.
or minus.
So he looks at you. He goes, "Well, I guess if you're with this guy, you're probably kind of harmless, but yeah. So what is it you're looking for? What do you need?"
Back to Ron.
There's then some.
Oh, good. Sorry.
Oh,
I'm
that's
not the
fair. Yeah,
DM.
back to
I'm not the DM.
Ron John.
Actually, it
Ron-
would be Jackhole as the next person. Jackhole is next in the turn order.
Yes, but technically, Ronald didn't get to add elements. I was forcing him to do a persuasion check, so it's his turn next.
That's fair. That's fair. You know what? Yeah, that makes sense. We'll go. Ronald, what do you jump on in?
Well, you see, ever since this new information the child gave me about the whereabouts and things you are supposed to do down at this dock, I began frantically searching about the dock, and I find something. Amazing, even. Exactly what I needed. The child said I needed a bigger sword, so I found one in a barrel next to the dock. This should intimidate the child now.
Child's gonna help us anyway. You don't need to threaten child.
Okay, well, maybe I'll need to threaten someone else. That's a child.
That'll work pretty good. That's a little better than that little pig sticker you had.
Yes, thank you, child. This is because of you.
Yeah, glad I could help. Anyway, what is it you're asking about? What do you need to know? Who you looking for?
Well, you see, we've been sent to investigate why alcohol is not being delivered at this dock. And there's rumor that someone... Oh, quiet, you
Voice down.
say?
Yeah. No, keep asking, though. Keep asking.
Yes, we need to investigate the rumor of alcohol not being delivered at this dock. Now, my father would know something about this because this is exactly his clientele that he'd be dealing with. But I seem to know nothing. I'm no privy to dock information. Will you please teach me the way to dock, child?
Well, I can give you some information about what's going on here. The other thing, you're going to have to go to the Red Lip Rose up the street. They can teach you how to do that.
No!
They'll also teach you frowning.
This is a kobold that knows his stuff. Anyway, so yeah,
Cookie
the
been around.
alcohol.
Do you happen to know anything about the barrels they're currently loading onto that ship?
So, the alcohol is being subverted. So there's this new group. They're smuggling stuff into the city. I don't know what it is, but they're taking the alcohol barrels, spilling them out into the ocean, and putting other stuff in and rolling them up onto that other ship over there. I don't know what's in there, but I bet you guys could probably figure it out.
A sin of the highest order.
A sin.
He shall be punished by the full extent of the law.
The alcohol abusers. Bastards.
And he's sort of sitting there casually, looking around at you all, just sort of hand out a little bit. Hope that was good
yes.
information.
I'm sorry. What do I usually do with peasants?
You gotta
them in
pay
the
them
water.
for their services.
Oh!
No.
Oh, I guess you
No.
didn't see. Let me get another one for you.
No. No.
Okay, roll me an attack. Just a d20. Roll me a d20.
Roll to hit with spit.
So, a 4. Okay, hold please.
Film.
You hawk that loogie and it misses the kid. He sort of dodges away. And you get, I got a 2, you get Jackhole Jones right on the arm.
Son of a bitch. Well, I look
And
at
he,
it.
the kid
Well,
takes off.
somebody received my offering.
Breakfast.
We got mooses.
Oh, yes?
Can the child kick me in the groin for reciprocity?
I was going to say I was going to do something else, but I like that. Yeah. So the kid looks at you and goes, "The hell's wrong with you, mister?"
Sir_Pubert just redeemed caster cantrip. Color spray slade.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
Oh yeah,
good.
yep, that's happening. Let me just pull that up so I can make sure I got the stats right.
Poobert's got it.
Thank you. So the kid goes, "What the hell's wrong with you?" And you see his hands start to swirl, and it puts his hand out, throwing it at you, and casts color spray. Let's see. I want everybody to just roll me a d10.
Bone?
Roll me a d10.
Right.
4.
Okay, 4. Everybody's in the cone. I think. Nope.
I got a 5.
Oh wait, no, I'm reading the wrong dice. Okay, yeah, just give me a d10.
Ronald.
Well, actually, he's aiming at Ronald. It's gonna hit Ronald anyway. But
What
Cookie,
color?
you see him. What color? Hubert, what color? But this burst of color comes flying at you, and I need each of you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Son of a...
It's gray. It's a gray color spray. No, it is. It's purple. Sora's better. It's purple.
It's
But to
purple.
Poobert, it's gray.
Yeah, to Poober, it's gray.
Cookie got a 9.
So, Cookie, you are blinded
Natural
until
20,
the end of your
baby!
next turn.
Fuck you, Kerner.
And Ronald. That was an excellent call, Poober.
Oh, so we're just blinded? We're not, like, sprayed
You don't get
purple?
you all you see, your vision is covered in purple. There's little dancing stars and things.
I had something queued up for this.
Perfect. But I still need to... You know what? Screw it. You automatically fail. You already turned purple. So you also are blind for your next turn. And the kid just runs off. Jackhole, you're the only one that sees it. He goes diving behind a couple of boxes, and you just hear him scurrying away in the fog.
I'll get you for this click-clack, you son of a bitch.
That's not my name, you fucker! Sorry, yep,
I
drinking.
never...
Wow, the
I
polls
never-
really are
yeah.
combative these days.
You
Alright,
know,
so-
Ronald, you gotta learn something. We gotta talk about pretty much some good common decency between all living creatures that can speak.
Common decency, is that a dish? It sounds decadent.
You know what? Yeah, it's a dish that I'm gonna put right in your ass if you don't cut the shit.
Ooh, I used to have a chambermaid do that for me.
Yeah, I bet you did, and I bet you fired her, you fuck.
I
I'll
did.
drink.
I didn't want to pay her.
So, I believe since we did move a little out of order, it is now your turn, Jackhole.
Cookie not do elements?
No. You were next anyway. It was your turn. We pushed it back to Ronald for the elements. So it is your turn now, Jackhole.
Okay.
Throw me some elements.
Well, he dives into the water. You hear him. And what do we got going on here? There's a boat. There's a tiefling child. I feel like both these guys are blinded. And first off, Jackhole takes advantage of them being blinded for sure. And Jackhole's going to put like a bench in front of their legs. So they might trip over it. He's going to slide a bench. And then he's going to keep walking up the docks. But as he does, I feel like we see these guys loading barrels. There's like a bunch of these barrels. We've been talking about it a bunch. There's a bunch of these barrels. So this is my second element. They're all in a stack. And there's a bunch of guys rolling them up onto this huge 3-story ship. It's the biggest ship on the docks. But it's unbranded, which is my fourth element. Barrel, boat. And so I start walking forward. I'm going to pay attention behind me. Like, hope when they fall, they learn their lesson. Never fuck with a gambling tiefling child who's secretly a man.
Okay. I
don't know if I have a roll, but
no, you really don't have a roll. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go to the unsure rules on this.
Okay.
So this is going to be contested. Jackhole versus Cookie and Ronald. And if you do not beat Jackhole's roll, you will trip over the bench.
What are we rolling?
D20, just a straight D20.
I planned this all along.
Okay.
It's a distraction. That's what it is.
Oh, damn!
13.
Oh.
I got
10. So, Cookie, you start but you bump into the bench. You're short. The bench doesn't come up. It comes up to like your waist. You just bang into it.
The bench comes up to Cookie's chest. The bench is like
Gift and
chest
item.
height.
Frog Toys 2 just redeemed random item. Jackhole.
Say, how does the random item work in this Improv Quest thing? Well, however Slade wants to do it. Slade's the tavern.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, here's what we will do. Where the hell is that? All right, Jackhole, roll me a D20, please.
Hindu. 15.
This is something I had not really planned on, so this is going to be a little bit odd. Let's see. All right. So you have been you suddenly trip yourself, stumble. You don't fall, but you see a small case on the ground.
Oh.
And inside, you see a small flintlock gun.
Oh.
It is shiny. It is golden. It is... I'm going to put the actual stats for it in our back chat here.
Nice.
Thank you. And this comes from Treasury of the Fleet, a book of random magic items around fleets and ships and things.
It makes sense.
It is essentially a +1 pistol. Instead of doing piercing damage, though, it actually does thunder damage.
Oh.
And that was the roll. Not being prepped has made Jackhole incredibly dangerous.
Oh. I look down and I pick it up and I look at it. And then I lick it. And then I look up to watch Ronald fall.
Yep. As that happens, Ronald, you take a step forward and you trip over this bench.
Oh, great heavens!
Nice.
All right.
Cookie gonna get on all fours and just crawl under the bench.
Sure. Yep. And that will pass the turn on to Ronald again to get back into the turn order.
Is my blindness still in place?
It is until the end of this turn.
Okay, well, I'm going to add an element to the story.
Yes, please do.
Everyone, listen to me. I see a void of darkness. It's all around us. I can't even see you. It's so thick. What shall we do in this time of complete darkness? I don't know what's going on.
Maybe
Cookie!
repent for the way that
Cookie, can you
treat
hear me?
people. Yeah, Ronald, I can hear you. I'm right next to you.
No, you are. I can't
Yeah.
see you.
Here,
Well,
reach out your
you know,
reach out your right hand. Reach out your right hand. All right, yeah. You see that's you feel the feathers? That's Cookie head.
ugh,
Yeah.
quite frightening. Wait. I'm smelling something.
Fish.
Wait. That is the unmistakable smell of ambergris. One of the most valuable substances in my father's company. It's basically whale wax that we use for perfumes shipping internationally. 1 pound of it! And you could sell it for so much gold. We need to find it. It's somewhere near.
Ambergris not wax. Ambergris whale hork. Ambergris whale vomit. I know, because I try to make Billy throw up every time I see stupid
Well,
whale
whatever it is valuable. Not only to me, but to everyone else.
All right, Ronald, roll a perception check to see if you can tell where it's coming from.
Mm.
with only your sense of smell.
Ooh.
Where's my fabric? Okay, so you sniff around. Your nose, like your palate, is refined. You can tell the difference between day-old brie and 3-day-old brie. You know these things. And you know your whale puke. And you smell it coming straight ahead from the direction that those barrels were being rolled.
I'm following it.
All right, Cookie, it is your turn to add on.
We have a lead.
Oh, good. Cookie's still blind, right? Because Ronald's
Yep.
an asshole.
Yep, and
Oh.
as your turn ends, Ronald, you start to shake, and you can start to see the purple fading from your eyes, and it's replaced
And my
by the
body.
I guess.
Mm.
Go ahead, Cookie.
Well, Cookie first off is gonna actually blindly grab for Ronald's coattails to make sure that I can walk with him.
Okay.
But as Ronald, in fact, stumbles his way across the docking area, past Jocko, who's just sucking on the shot, like trying to start a gun.
Indeed.
Cookie gonna just follow along, feeling like the pebbly gravel in the docking area, and Ronald's gonna like bump into one of the big barrels as he's still blind. You're gonna hear like this gross slashing sound in there, like someone made custard 6 days ago, and they left it out in the sun, and they made it with eggs.
You got one
All right.
element.
And one more element? Okay, but as he does that, you hear the booming voice of a gentleman over there who has noticed bumbling ass Ronald bumping into his barrels. Cookie is
And-
holding on.
Okay. What does the voice say?
Oh, Oh, am I allowed to say what the NPC says in this one?
Well, just what do you hear them say?
Oh, they say, like, what's your business?
Okay. Let's roll up. Let's give us a random NPC. Cookie, give me a D20 roll, please.
Cookie rolling. Maybe. Cookie roll.
A 9.
You got a 9.
Nice.
I like where this is going.
Oh, this is excellent.
Oh God.
You hear the booming voice. Hark! Stop! Where art thou going? And you look over, Jackal and Ronald. Your vision's starting to clear. Cookie, after you hear the voice, you start to look around. You're making out shapes. You're able to see some things again. You see a tall human dressed in beautiful armor, a great sword on his back, and an amulet on his front. I will need a name for this obvious paladin guard. So, chat, give me a name for this large paladin guard that has stumbled upon the party. And as we look for the name, the turn will pass to Jackal Jones.
So, as I see him, hoo-ha. Well, what I want to say is, over to the left, there's like the back of the ship, and it's like 3 stories. So there's like balconies that go up, and like doors and windows and shit. But there's also like this large, staying on theme of the night here, purple banner that's like draped over the back of the ship. It's got like a big circle on it that has a rabbit on the inside that's holding a bowl of fruit. That's the logo. Just came up with it. It says tricks are for kids or something. But also, make me laugh.
I'm having to write this down because, yeah.
We got some good names in chat. So what you guys see is Jackhole sees this shiny guy and goes, oh, this guy. And he jumps behind some barrels and tucks and rolls and jumps over with daggers and slides and grabs onto the big old banner and tries to climb up it. And I want to try and roll an acrobatics.
Yep, that's exactly what you're going to do.
Yeah. Let me see here. Acrobatics +5. Let's go. I got a 16.
16. Yep. As the booming voice and your visions start to clear, you see Jackal jump and start arrow flinning up the side of the ship, up across the banner.
And the whole time I'm mumbling, that's not a banana, that's not a banana, that's not a banana. Where's the banana? That's not a banana.
Ronald, you hear the booming voice and this armored clad figure is starting to march on down toward you.
Hello, warrior.
I am a knight, sir.
Yes, it is nighttime. Very astute of you.
What are you doing down here on the docks at this hour? Are you ruffians?
By nothing of the sort, sir. Do you not recognize me? You do not know who I am. Why, I am the owner of this fabulous ship. It is mine.
Roll me a deception check, please.
Oh, that happens to be a 23?
Yes, it's a 23. Well, I'm actually going to combine Sora's and Kriana's name here for this. I am Sir Don McCracken, son of Philip. And I sorry, I don't know if that went off in the audio. My phone just went off with a huge Amber Alert sound. So I apologize if that came across.
I didn't hear it. Mm.
Okay, good. Sir, why is that? Is that a ruffian scampering up your ship? Shall I dispatch him? And he starts to pull towards his sword.
No, leave him be. He's simply one of the ship workers. He's looking for barnacles to remove.
He's
Now,
a ward of the state.
I'm like,
So, what are you adding to the scene from here, Ronald?
ooh, well,
3 elements.
as I see them, I see another load of the barrels being rolled onto the ship, and one of the people rolling the barrels is a very large hobgoblin. Like, he's just absolutely ripped for no reason. Really, like, good cum gutters, I think they're called. Just absolutely incredible physique hobgoblin rolling this barrel up the ramp to the ship. I want to ask, how's the cargo load going? What are we doing today?
Okay. You're gonna get another roll here, just because I want to see how this goes. I'd like you to roll deception again, but at disadvantage.
Would you like me to just roll performance?
No. Okay, well, yeah. All right. Same thing though. Disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Shit.
Okay.
It's a 9.
It is a 9. So, barring a reroll or some ads, that is a fail.
Of course.
Is it not an 11?
Nope. It was at disadvantage.
Okay.
It was a 9 and a 2. Oh, disadvantage. 9 and a 2, so it was a 2. We're just oh no, you have a +2.
It was
My bad, 9.
and 11. So 9 plus 2.
Foundry.
is
I was reading Foundry wrong. You're right. Sorry.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
So that is a pass. That is a save. Okay.
Oh, wonderful.
That's on me. I have my Foundry set up a little differently, and so I misread it. The hobgoblin turns, looks, and goes, we're loading. It's going in the boat. And he starts to turn and goes back in and starts rolling up again. And that's where, Cookie, we will switch to your turn.
Hey, we're
Good.
on the ship now. New scene, new number.
Yeah, well, so you are, so yes, we'll say that. This will be a new scene. So let's have a new number. It is now, the number is 16. Thanks, Turk.
Shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
Everybody thank Turk. I need a new pen. All right, Cookie, it is your turn. You are heading up the ramp following Ronald and your new friend, Sir Don McCracken, towards the ramp and heading up into the ship. What do? What
Don.
add?
So, as Cookie's walking on, she's gonna start chatting up Don and asking, how he does he feel appreciated in the workplace, and how the crew is generally being treated, because I am, in fact, emotional support kobold sent by the owners. As he is with me right now, I am with the owner. But how are you feeling on the ship? And as we're walking onto the ship, Cookie is taking in that pretty much everybody on this ship, they're rolling the casks down into this big bay area with a big iron grate that's like lifted up. And then, but they're big ruffians. Like everybody on here, their lava tubes are absolutely ripped to fuck. Like they've been hauling ass. Like there's not only hobgoblins, there's also a couple of bugbears and like big boys. Cooking like big boys. And as they do, we kind of like, as we're walking towards like the captain's place, we look down and we see like there's people down below in the ship as well.
Okay.
But how are you in the workplace, Don? How are you? Are
I
you
take-
being treated well? Are you
I-
getting enough oranges?
We live on simple soldier fare. As a knight of the realm, I am sworn to a chaste and poverty lifestyle.
I mean, that's great, but if you don't get your citrus on long voyages, you're gonna get scurvy. And then you'll be no good to anyone.
You misunderstand. I guard the docks. I am merely coming on board with the owner here to make sure everything is on the up and up. I work here.
Well, can you introduce me to some of the crew so I might interview them to make sure they're being treated fairly as accordance to the ordinance laws?
All right, here's your role is going to come in. I'd like you to make an insight check as you look around at the crew.
Cookie rolled an 11.
An 11. An 11 does not succeed, however.
It would have if someone hadn't asked you to roll.
Yes, it would have succeeded.
Conspiracies.
You look around and you see there's a lot of hobgoblins, bugbears, there's some humans, there's this incredibly swole half-orc who's carrying a barrel on one shoulder. But it's hard to tell what, they're busy working, they're focusing on the work. You don't really see anybody there to really potentially comfort. After a little bit, though, you do see one small little hobgoblin who's a lot smaller than the others. Not a kid, but he's not very strong. Just sort of sitting in the corner. We'll switch over to Jackhole here.
I get up to the top.
You are scurrying up the top, and you have reached the top of the back end of the ship, the stern, if you will.
Just pokes up over the bars, and I go, Ronald, psst, Ronald.
Yes.
When I was climbing up, I seen in the captain's quarter. There's a captain in there, Ronald, and he's large and covered in white fur, and he was eating a bowl of something. Could be soup. Definitely not beans, though, because I know a lot about beans. I got green beans, black beans, baked beans, refried beans, pinto beans. Anyways, there's someone in the captain's quarters.
I see.
We gotta get down there.
Thank you for the information, Jackhole.
Interrogate them. But also, my second element, because that's one. The big orc carrying the barrel trips over the little tiny kobold and drops a barrel that cracks and breaks on the deck of the ship, and this whale vomit stuff just goes everywhere. And all of these large kobolds start like ice skating in it around on the top of the deck, trying not to fall. They're like, no, orcs and hobgoblins and what have you. And I'm like, oh. Hey, Ronald. Is whale puke flammable?
Yeah.
Well, I believe highly.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And then I'm going to slowly slide back down to the balcony where the captain's quarters was and try to swing in onto the balcony quietly. Can I do a stealth?
Okay. Yes, please. Give me a stealth check.
Nice. This is plus 11. It is a natural 1, but I did get a 12. Son of a bitch. Fucking shit.
So you swing down, and how do you fail?
That's true, huh? Well, I swing too far, and I go through the window of the captain's quarters.
And then
I
to the
land on
wall.
the ground, and
Oh.
I look up at this captain, and I say, "You want to buy some beans?" And that's when I pass it off.
All right. Okay. That would be. Move my notes back. Ronald. Actually, you know what? Yeah, after Ronald, we're going to re-roll initiative again. I forgot to do that when we changed the other scene.
All right.
So, Ronald, your turn. You hear this thunderous crash and a sales pitch for some beans from the behind the
Sales
captain's quarters door.
For some beans. I got green beans and pinto beans. I got black beans.
Are we with the knight, or is he
Yeah,
gone?
no, the knight is still there. He had been talking to Cookie.
Okay, what I'm going to do is swipe up in my finger some of the ambergris, and I turn to the knight and I say, "Will you please get someone to pick this up?" Cookie, to the captain's quarters, tally-ho! And then just as we're walking to the captain's quarters, I happen to glance up at the mast of the ship, and I see a pirate flag unfurl.
Okay.
There's pirates. The pirates like jelly beans.
Sure.
Asking for a friend.
And we make our way to the captain's quarters.
Okay, first I'd like
Make
you,
your way,
for your
Frank.
role, for your role, persuading the knight to clean the shit up.
Persuasion. Mm. Oh, I didn't mean to do that with advantage. I'm sorry.
Nope, that's fine. That's fine. Screw it, I'll give it to you. He turns and goes, but sir, that is not really.
Listen,
Alright.
I didn't tell you to clean it up. I said get someone to. You're a big, strong, shiny fellow. I'm sure you could manage.
We'll make sure it gets done, sir. And
Thank you.
takes his
And I-
great sword off, hangs it on a hook, and starts smacking a couple of the kobolds and a couple of the hobgoblins to get going on cleaning up.
And Mr. Don, if you're ever feeling underappreciated, please reach out to me at any time. You can find me up at the Tall Tale Tavern Mondays through Fridays. My hours are open and flexible.
As you witness a clear violation of workers' rights, him slapping around his crew.
Listen, I'm not
Appreciate
saying I say in a whisper, I'm not saying I'm trying to build a case, but against him, but hear me out. If you got anything to say, your opinions are valued.
So you make your way towards the captain's quarters doors. Everybody roll me some initiative, please.
Also, you said it. Make your way, drink.
Ooh, a 9.
Yeah. Alternative syllables. Arrive. Go. Walk.
Cookie got a 7.
Okay. And Senor Jones.
I got
12.
Senor Jones. That's my cousin.
All right, so we will be going Jackal, Ronald, and then Cookie. So, Jekyll, you are there. This large, as he stands, realize he's really tall. He's almost 7 feet tall with his ears and everything, and he just towers over you, and he goes, "What are you doing in my cabin?" And are there any other suggestions? Any other name suggestions for the captain? Please throw them in chat. We got one from Frog.
Richard Cranium. Well, sir, I was cleaning your windows as per normal docking procedure, and it seems that you had a misplaced Ruganagadgen. It's a piece of the boat. Don't worry, I was trying to fix it.
That's that right there. That right there. You're rolling that one, dude.
Deception.
Yep.
13.
13. Oh, so close to the 16. Maybe if somebody gave you a reroll or a couple of +1s, this would be successful.
That's true.
Ah.
What I looked
Oh.
at his cabin, I want to add in some elements in this cabin. First of all, there's a very large black leather chair that's very nice to sit on. Also,
Baptized in pus used reroll Jack.
thanks, Dan.
Yay!
Remember, Dan,
Did she say Dirk?
don't trust the conspiracy. All right. Here we go. Deception. That's worse. That's
That's a lot worse.
That's way worse. Yeah, there's
All
a
right,
chair.
so we get a large
Also,
chair.
You know how people put, like, animals, they'll, like, mount them on their walls, like animal heads? It's that,
Jeremy?
but instead, they're all human heads. There's, like, gingers and old men, people with different hairs and stuff. And I look and I'm like, oh, the horror. The horror. Oh. Those are my
Cooking
elements.
are like
Okay, those are your elements. So, as you say this and you're looking around at the room and you see the posh leather chair, the beautiful mahogany desk, and the trophies around the room, he goes, "I don't recognize you from the crew, and I don't even know what a Rumpakatungan whatever the hell you said is.
Do you
I
like
think
beans?
you're an intruder."
No. That's when we start backing up. No.
Are you trying to put one over on Captain Figgy Puddin'? Thanks, Baptized. That's pretty great.
Alright, we're taking it. Oh, was there any other suggestions that we took tonight from names and stuff?
Yes, it was Sora.
we did
Sora and
Kriana
Kriana.
before us.
Yeah. As he approaches you, he draws a rapier. And Ronald, this is when you burst through the door and you see this scene playing out before you. What add?
Oh, Well, seeing as he's clearly a scoundrel, I notice the danger and quickly throw my sword across the room at him.
Okay. Then hold, please. We are going to roll that as an attack. And let me do. I have something for this.
Figgy Pudding needs a stat sheet.
Captain Figgy Pudding is getting one. Because
none of this pudding.
DM Slade has a shitload of characters he rolls during boring times at work.
Hell yeah.
All right, roll me an attack with your sword.
I believe this is dexterity.
Yeah, because it's a ranged
Yes, sir.
attack.
Yep, it is absolutely.
Oh shit.
So the sword flies across the room.
Can I spend a couch coin to add a chaos die to Ronald's roll?
Yes, you may. A
Yes.
couch coin for a chaos die. Now, for folks that are sitting there in the back saying, hey, what's a chaos die? Chaos die is I will roll a d6. If it is an odd number, an unfortunate event will happen. If it's an even number, there's going to be more successful results.
Something good
So-
happens.
Mm-hmm. It is a 1, however.
Damn it.
So he ducks. The sword flies across,
Mobile was
bounces
taken
up.
Soikocephas used to reroll Jackhole.
Reroll that chaos die, baby.
Okay.
Ooh.
A 2. Okay.
So even though, on this successes, and we don't use this a lot, so the sword attack still fails. But then
sword
something
attack
else
fails.
awesome
Yep.
happens to help us.
Exactly. So the sword flies past.
Connor.
Ronald, how does it succeed in a different way?
Well, I'd like to have the sword land right in between Jackhole's legs. And I'm going to yell out, "Stop there, ruffian! You have entered my ship unauthorized. I am the proprietor of this ship. I own it. And you shall scurry away. Please use the door like a civilized person."
I get it. So, you're trying to deceive Figgy Pudding.
Yes.
Jim
Okay.
just rolled a 5 for some reason.
No reason whatsoever. Don't worry about me. Just rolling some dice. I like dice.
Okay.
Okay, then.
Cheers, Moby. I go.
So, what? Just to be clear, you are aiming that at Jackal or at the captain?
I was aiming at the captain.
Thank you very much. Okay. So the turn passes along. Cookie, you walk in. You see all of this happening. You see Ronald demand the ruffian leave the ship. What add?
My goodness.
Plus or minus 1.
Frog Toys 2 just redeem +1. +1 to Big Jim's next roll.
I will bank that. Thank you, Frog.
Well, my goodness, you have quite the event. You have quite the rambunctious ship, sir.
He
I
turns.
say to Captain Figgy Pudding.
Turns. What is all these? Who are all these people? What is going on here? Who are you all in my ship? And he just starts turning. He's pointing the rapier in a bunch of different directions. What are you adding to the scene? And then what is your move going to be?
Okay, so
We are in combat at the moment, just to be clear, too.
yeah, but Cookie like to talk things through if she can.
I am aware.
Cookie not gonna try to fight if she don't have to. But Cookie looking around the room sees these heads mounted on the wall, and each one of them has a plaque underneath of date joined crew, date of portrayal, and upon looking to the other side, there's a whole bunch of manifests on the opposite side of the room along these big mahogany desks. There's manifests and charts and places
Think
they're
bigger.
going with oh Jesus Christ!
Like Hobgoblin goes flying off the side. Think bigger.
Itchy and face hurts. But I sure wish there was a suggestion in chat Cookie could use.
Yeah.
True.
But in the meantime, listen, there's a bunch of commotion going out on the deck behind us because a big barrel of ambergris was spilled everywhere, and now the people that are like being tasked by the paladin to clean it up are starting to fight out there because they don't like being told what to do by the dock staff. And it's like, my goodness, you have quite the hubbub going on outside. We came from Port Authority to kind of check in on how the well-being of the crew was, and it seems like, you have a long line, Cookie, looking at the big walls of heads. It looks like you have a long line of mistrust going here, sir.
Okay, roll a persuasion on that, then. We'll do this as a persuasion check.
Oh, I rolled it on the wrong thing. God damn it.
Is Cookie the bean holder, the boat inspector?
Cookie, it's a 15. 1 point away from success. If only somebody gave you a +1, this could be successful. And the Captain Puddin looks around. It's like,
Plus or minus 1.
Baptized in pus just redeemed +1. Cookie.
looks at us.
Plus or minus 1.
Kriana just redeemed +1. Cookie.
Thank you.
Cookie's the only one that gets those.
Yep, those are cookies.
Those are
Yep.
cookies.
Yep.
Cookie can't help just being, got that kobold riz.
Yeah, Cookie brings the fan club. That's I think that's how that lesson we're learning these 2 weeks. The Captain Puddin turns and goes, "You're from the port, and there's a fight, and I thought I bribed them. And he sort of sits down on that posh leather chair and goes, "It's all just coming apart." And this is where we are going to take our break. So, we're going to take a little bit of time, get a little dehydration, rehydration, and we'll be back in a few moments.
Oh, wait.
Oh, the thumbnail pose. Let's have some thumbnail pose suggestions. Somehow the new guy forgot when the GM on Grouch Couch calls for thumbnail poses. Suggestions from chat. Meanwhile, look like you're very sneakily trying to get across the docks. And now an uwu pose. And we'll go with Pubert's uwu pose, and we'll go to break.
All right.
Great. Thank you all. We'll be back in a few minutes. Oh, we're live. Yeah, Improv Quest. Welcome back, everybody. So there is a tradition on another channel that I'm on, is we always screw up the intro on the way in, like if there's a countdown or something. So that's a little Easter egg for people that know me from other places. So the scene, the captain's quarters of this 3-decker ship. There's barrels of what appear to be ambergris loaded in, but the party has confronted the captain, and Cookie is in the process of offering therapy to an obvious Captain Figgy Puddin in distress. So Cookie, he has sat down in his chair, sword on one side, hand at his head. What do you say next?
Well, Cookie gonna jump up on the desk on all fours.
Okay.
And the sword is gonna actually be engraved with two of my beloved figgy pudding. I love Rosie.
Okay.
Nice.
And you can tell that Rosie's been kind of like scratched out a bit.
Okay.
I think that, what you said everything's falling apart. That happens to all of us. We all go through big bridges of change.
So for the captain's turn in the initiative order, since we have entered combat and we're probably going to exit it in a moment, the captain turns and he goes, "I've just been trying to make everything. I have a crew, and yes, I'm a little harsh on the discipline, but look around. Rosie will have to take me back when she sees this success, and now it's all coming apart, and I'm never gonna get Rosie back again, and it's all because of all of you." And he picks up off the desk right next to you, looks like a glass globe, and he shakes it, and you see these white particles swirling around, and he goes, "Rosie, no."
Now, would you happen to think? Now, Rosie, I only know one Rose in my life, and she works at the tavern. Are you possibly, stealing her booze and replacing it with other, with other foreign objects to destroy her business, so she feels like she has to come back to you, so you have someone who is dependent on you?
Son of a bitch.
So before you roll, I'm going to roll the new number for the target for this scene.
Son of a bitch.
And it is a 7. So, what I'd like you to do, Cookie, is we're going to do a contested straight D20 roll to see which emotion wins out.
Hi, Poobert. Welcome back.
Cookie got a 19.
And the captain got a 14, and he goes, "You know my Rosie."
Rosie's a good lady.
And he just hurls out the window. He hurls the snow globe, just missing you, Jackhole, and he hurls it out. She goes, "She hates me!" Jackhole, it is your turn.
How many couch we start with 2, right?
You have used one already.
I want to spend one more to say I spin and I grab the snow globe and I pocket that shit and I go, "Oh, wow, it flew really far. Wow."
Okay, done and done. Couch coin spent.
Couch going to add to the scene. And then, fucking goddamn it. I look him up and down and I go, I've been eating Rosie's pie. How do you feel about that?
I'm sorry, sir. He's a ward of the state. He's I'm so sorry, sir.
I'm trying to decide what Jackhole's role here is going to be.
I'm just talking shit.
And I'm gonna have you put that under. Let's throw that into intimidation or performance, your choice, because you're trying to get under his skin.
Yeah. All right. We'll do the intimidation. I've been eating her pie. How do you feel about that? I got a 12. But don't think too fast, Mr. Rabbit. It's the pie she puts on the window sills. See, I live in the alleyway behind the Tall Tale Tavern. And you have been taking booze away from us, you son of a bitch.
How else am I supposed to make sure that Rosie gets attention down here and sees what I have done and what I have built for her?
Sounds like a classic case of self-sabotaging.
Are you adding anything else to the scene, Jack?
Yeah, I'm thinking, but everything my brain wants to add kind of ruins, I think, what Cookie's trying to do, and I don't want to go against what they're trying to do, so what I will say is the only element I'm going to add before I pass it on is that the little girl hobgoblin walks off the deck and into the captain's quarters, and she's covered in this whale vomit, and she looks at Figgy Pudding, and she says something along the lines of, "Can you help me, please?" Something like that.
Chat, what is this little hobgoblin girl's name? And we will hand it over to Ronald.
Sorry, Cookie didn't mean to do that.
No worries. I gotta fix my mustache. What do you think, Ronald?
What add?
Well, I have drifted over to the maps and charts and such, and I've ripped off a corner of one of the charts and scribbled on it 1 free entry, and I venture over to the captain and I say, "Hello, listen, I see you've been under quite a lot of stress. Why not take the day off and go somewhere that will actually appreciate your hard work? Here is a ticket that I found to a nearby strip club. Go ahead and take it and use it on your day off."
You're asking me to go feel better about losing the love of my life at a strip club.
Isn't that where everyone goes?
Oh, persuasion on that one. And you know what? Screw it. You can have advantage on that one.
Okay. Oh.
A 24, which is actually a 16, which does, in fact, make it. He takes the paper and he goes, "That seems like a... The crew always talk about how good it is to go to these places. Maybe I will do that." And he sort of puts it in his jacket, and he looks over at, baptized. We're definitely doing that. Sailor Twift. You are covered. You are covered in the cargo. What has happened? And I'm going to do a quick roll here for no reason whatsoever. It's fine. It's a 17. And the little girl goes, "I just needed some help with I am covered in this, and the big guys, they keep pushing me into this stuff, and they're laughing, and they're doing slide races on the deck." And that's where we will hand it over to Cookie.
Oh. Well, it really seems like you need to get maybe the stern, crazy shit you've been doing marking as betrayal on the wall here. Maybe it's time to do some team building, like maybe a whole team building trip to the strip club. Like, take everybody with you, maybe clean yourself up, get your place in ship shape, stop stealing, and, maybe use this ambergris, sell it for a high price and get some high quality booze, and that will make Rosie feel a lot better. If you repay her with some big booze.
And Jackhole's like right behind your shoulder, Cookie, like breathing. He's like, They've been change.
Oh, change. Run that again, Cookie.
Okay, so, maybe instead of taking everybody out, maybe change out your crew for some more wholesome, less degenerative people, and start over from scratch. You could bring high-quality foods to villages in need, and if you really wanted Rosie back, you could show her by the good deeds you're doing instead of, crippling her financially.
And then I'll also change. I'm behind Ronald, and I'm like, Ronald. I'm like, let's go light all those fucking hobgoblins on fire. Let's help the captain get rid of his shitty crew.
So, pause there for a moment, Jackhole. Cookie, give me a... we'll go with a persuasion roll on this. But I'd also like you to follow it up with an insight roll. For reasons.
I butted in. My bad.
No, you're good. You're good.
Cookie got a 13 on persuasion and an 8 on insight.
Both of which work. So, he stops and he ponders and he starts pulling his ears down and sort of petting his own ears, it almost looks like milking a cow to you. And he goes, I don't know, starting over, maybe, and you see he is struggling. He is thinking about the strip club. He's thinking about Rosie, and he's worried about this little puke-covered hobgoblin and worrying about the fantasy OSHA coming in and finding out what he's doing here. So then, we will switch over to Jackhole. It is your turn.
I
What
reproduce
do?
the snow globe, and I say, do it. Follow your heart. Together, let's murder these fucking hobgoblins. Light them on fire. Throw them off the ship. They abused alcohol after all. I hate them.
Are you saying that to the captain or to Ronald?
To the captain,
Captain?
I'm producing the snow globe. Follow your heart. Kill them.
He takes his sword, the one that was engraved, puts it back in his scabbard, reaches back and hands you this old cutlass. And he said, roll me actually just a charisma check for this. We'll just do
Who
straight
said
charisma
that?
check to Jackhole.
Charisma.
Oh, very successful. He hands it to you and he goes, thank you for the globe. My temper gets the best of me. Here, do it. And he'll sort of toss the cutlass over to you guys. Anything else to add? Anything else to add?
Oh yeah, to the scene.
I'm so happy you did that. Yeah, to the scene. Anything else that's happening out there, Jackhole, as you turn?
Don McCracken enters into the captain's quarters. And he's like, I can't get these dang hobgoblins to clean up this deck. And he turns to Ronald, and he's like, is this actually your crew?
And it's, well, yes. Allow me to go deal with them. And I walk out the door, and there's a lantern that's, hanging next to the captain quarters door, and I unhook it with the sword, and I go, on my ships, we usually keep these on the floor. And I go, oops, and I drop it, and it just shatters, and the lantern flame ignites all of the ambergris on the deck.
All right. Then, are you going to add anything else to this before we go into your role?
Yes, I did not happen to notice that there's large amounts of gunpowder next to all of the cannons on deck. And, the fire is spreading very quickly to those powders. And I'd like to notice that, turn around back into the captain's quarters, close the door, and start walking towards the balcony on the back of the ship.
Okay. So, for your role, I need you to make a dexterity save. Please.
And can I use cunning action to grab the hobgoblin girl, still covered in vomit, and throw her to the other side of the room? Or grab her and move her?
Sure, that can happen. She's a little tiny and covered in whale horn. That's fine. A 10. So you get to the top of the stairs up to the back end of the ship, the deck, looking out over the stern at the docks, as you feel this wave of pressure come from behind you as it ignites. How do you successfully evade taking full damage from this explosion?
Wait, so I'm on like the wheels
Yes.
portion.
So it's up by the helm, up there. You've run up the stairs and you're up by the helm. But you feel the wave come at you. And that much ambergris and gunpowder that you set the story on is going to have an explosion that is still going to cause you some effect, and that's what your dexterity save is for.
Well, the way I'd like to describe it is there is a barrel of ambergris right in front of me on the edge of the deck, and the explosion is going to blow me into the barrel, and I'm going to be like hugging it as it goes overboard.
Okay. So then you grab onto it, you roll off, you start to tumble, you can feel your hair singed as you have taken 5 points of fire damage. But it is a 3-story ship, and the helm is fairly high above the dock. So on top of that, you're also going to take 9 points of damage as you hit the dock, and the barrel breaks the fall, so you only take some of that, but you're tumbled and you are on the deck, laying there, and miraculously the barrel did not break.
Oh.
Wait, I didn't land in the water, I landed on the dock?
Yes, because the dock was where Jack Hole went right up the back of the ship, off of the docks,
Oh yeah.
and scurried up there. So it had already been established. The back end was there.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Shit.
Oops.
And now we'll switch over. That will end the scene there, and we'll roll over to Cookie.
Oh,
The door shuts. Ronald shuts the door. You hear this boom. Everything shakes, rattles. You see a glow under the door. The door holds firm, but there is smoke starting to come in. What add?
okay. So as the fire urges on outside, you hear this cracking and snapping as the mast from the ship crashes onto the roof of the captain's quarters, where like the thing would have, like the deck would have been, and ropes from the mast are seen dangling outside of the window that Jack Hole broke.
Yep.
As Cookie casts shield on herself and goes like, out the window if you want to live. But Cookie gonna cast shield on herself so she doesn't take any damage.
Okay. Well, inside, because Ronald closed the door, you don't actually take any damage from the explosion. It shakes everything, but Ronald is very courteous and closed the heavy captain's cabin door.
Yeah, but Cookie gotta go through a bunch of broken glass windows and possible fire when she grabs on the ropes and stuff. So Cookie's gonna cast shield so she doesn't get burned and singed and like cut up.
You're grabbing for the ropes.
Yeah, I'm grabbing for the ropes. Cookie go for ropes.
Let's do acrobatics or athletics. I will let you choose.
Cookie gonna do acrobatics.
Okay then.
Cookie got a 21.
How do you successfully save yourself using the ropes?
Cookie gonna run across the desk and go up against the bunny man and kind of use him as a vaulting board and bounce off of him out the window onto the rope and swing around to the ground.
All right, and you swing around and you land right next to Ronald, who has landed on the ground. You see the barrel of ambergris there next to him as he is sort of groaning and getting up. So that will move us over to Jackhole. Jackhole, as you see a look of panic come across the captain's face, as he looks around, and he goes, "Oh, I gotta get out of here." What add?
I look at him and I say, it's fine. Just remember this. The closest way to Rosie's heart. Bread. Uh-huh. And then I turn away from him, and the hobgoblin, Sailor Twift, I say, so where's the way out? And Sailor Twift points at the big old mahogany desk. And I'm like, of course you know, you've been here, right? And I look where she's pointing, and there's a little lever under the desk. And Jackhole pulls it, and there's a shift in the wall that opens, and then a plank falls down, and there's stairs that go down to the dock. And I go, come on. I grab her by the hand, and we walk down the plank. Nothing is out of the way that it seems.
The roll here is going to be for something that's happening in the world. Give me a D100, please.
No, shit. Why you do this to me?
Okay, 87. Okay, one moment. All right, and now another one. We'll just say high-low.
Yeah.
You want high or low? High. Excellent. A 38. That's a low. So, as Jackhole and Sailor Twift come down, and she's stumbling a little bit because she's very slippery with all this whale hork on her. But you get down just as you see the captain diving out of the side window that you had broken, missing the rope, and falling into the water as another explosion happens. Meanwhile, this has attracted the city guards, who are all coming running to you, while Sir Don is sort of staggering out. His mustache is singed and burning, and he just points and goes, "Malfeasance!"
Fuck.
And Ronald, it is your turn.
As the city guards are approaching, I'm going to quickly, pull my rich card and be like, aghast! Oh, woe is me, my ship has been exploded by that shiny man over there! Get him, guards!
Their own captain. No fucking...
Okay. Wow. Yeah, let's do this with performance, and I won't do it disadvantage because he is all soot covered and whale hork and half on fire, so he might not be fully recognizable yet.
Oh, wait. Performance.
Bucket!
Bucket!
Bucket! Just
Wait,
like-
you didn't see that.
Welcome, Bucket.
Performance.
Thank you for
There
rating.
it is. Normal. Oh.
A 6. Fortunately, you needed a 7.
Wait,
Uh,
Well,
luck
we'll take a
points
moment
is
to
feat.
greet.
I can't
Oh, yeah.
I can't give them to someone else.
A new member joins
No.
the party.
Hello,
Toy 4 on 85
Hi.
has followed.
Thank you, Toy. Thank you for the raid, Bucket. Welcome in.
When I yep, can't do it.
No, yeah, it's yourself. Getting ready to call this if there's no re-roller +1. And thank you for the follow, Toy. Appreciate that. All right, the guards turn. They look at you. They look back up there. They look at you again and goes, But that's our captain! That's the knight! I think you're the cause of all of this! And he starts to run towards you, pulling out a sword. Anything else you wanted to add to the scene before we hand it over to Cookie, Ronald?
I noticed that my barrel is cracked and leaking ambergris onto the dock.
Okay. Excellent. Cookie, you are up.
Bye. Well, as you can see, with the big ship on fire, they're just hobgoblins screaming everywhere, trying to dunk themselves into the water. But the thing is that ambergris is a very oily, slicky substance, so it's not coming off when they enter the water, so it's just becoming a grease fire. And now they're catching the boats next to them on fire, and it's catching on, and the grease is now in the water, making it slick and going around to all the other things in the harbor. And I'm like, is this really what we need to be worried about right now? Because we're about to have a huge economic crisis.
Yeah.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. You're going to. I want you to roll. Roll just pure charisma at advantage.
Oh, hell yeah. Cookie do advantage. Cookie got 14.
Excellent. So, you step forward. The guards stop. They look at you. And they look and go, "Oh, shit! Get the fire brigade!" And they start running over, trying to get the various alert the boats. One of them goes and rings a bell. And one of them, though, is still sort of near you, trying to figure out what to do with all you all. Anything else on there, Cookie?
Listen, I would also check this boat's insurance claims and see if they are actually registered with the the DEM for harbor in this area. Because I have a feeling they're not up to code. This is not a harbor that is built for ambergris shipments. This is food and beverage only.
Oh, I don't know nothing about no insurance.
We should probably look into it, because I think you've been defrauded in a big way.
I'm just a guard, ma'am. Just a guard, miss. Okay, Jack Hole, take it over.
We walk down the rest of the stairs to the dock, and I looked at Sailor Twift, and I'm like, "Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious." And I'm just holding the hand of this hobgoblin covered in grease, and we're walking up the dock. As the guards, right, they all start gathering, and they all start trying to figure out a way to put out this literal grease fire that's happening at the docks. And so they're all running around all crazy, and we're just walking through the chaos, and I poke Ronald, and Ronald, you begin rolling your barrel, and Cookie, you climb up my shoulder, and we're walking up the docks, and we look to the right, and we see there's this cart, and there's a big old tarp over it, and Sailor Twift goes, and I go, "Oh yeah, what's that then?" And she pulls on the tarp, and I pull the tarp off the cart that was next to the ship, and it's full of about 12 barrels of booze that had yet to be changed out for ambergris. And I go, "Well, it was here the whole time." Right in front of where we talked to Click Clack earlier. And I go, but we look up, and there's a fancy man sitting as the carriage driver. And he turns and he sees Ronald. And then I pass it off to Ronald.
Okay. Just before that, you are getting one roll, Jack Hole, that might not affect you right away. Give me a stealth roll to see if you can get through the group without attracting the attention of the guards at all. As a weird little homeless guy leading away a greased child.
I am not little. First of all, I may be homeless, but I'm not little.
No.
Stealth.
No.
I'm gonna spend
Cookie
a luck
little.
point to wait. Hold on, that's a 2 plus 11. That's a 13. It's fine.
Yeah. Good bonuses there. Yeah, you managed to make it through. A couple of guards look and go, get the kid out of here. And this is no place for a child. And go on. So Ronald, the fancy man coach driver, turns to you, and
He looks like he knows you.
Carriage driver, I require transport for me and my employees. Do you take payment in whale
After the
vomit?
Just redeemed random item. Cookie.
Cookie gets a random item.
Okay.
All right. Cookie, please roll me a D100.
Cookie know exactly where she's gonna find this item, no matter how big.
74.
A 74. Okay. You find a small thing. How do you find it? Tell me how you find it.
Well, Cookie's been riding on Jack Hall's shoulders, and Cookie's gonna notice it kind of matted up in his hair.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
And you take it down, and what you see is a gold ring, and you see it has as a little sigil on it, a sword hilt with a feather coming out of the hilt. You have been given the diplomat's signet. Plated with gold, this ring bears a relief of a sword's hilt that has a feather coming out of it. This ring grants a wearer a +1 bonus on intelligence, history, and charisma persuasion checks.
Cookie got that kobold riz.
And I go,
Uh-huh.
oh, that's for Edwin. You can have it.
Eat cookies now.
Hey, find your
Yeah, eat
sleepers.
cookies now.
Yeah.
It's hobo code. You can't kill me now.
Oh.
All right. So Ronald, you were asking if he took what as payment?
Whale vomit, good sir.
Surely, sir, is joking.
Well, you see, this substance is known as ambergris. It's quite valuable. I'm sure you could resell it for, a profit.
He looks over, sees there's a little crack in it, and there's something leaking out, and the smell is there. We are totally on the bullshitting train tonight. Give me a persuasion check, please.
God damn it.
You're trying to convince him to take the...
You should have just made him your old butler, Connor. Hello, I remember you. 13, though. That's pretty good.
Yeah, no. He goes, very well, but put it at the back of the wagon, please.
Okay.
And where should we be going, sir?
To the Tall Tale Tavern, thank you.
Of course, that's where you're going. And he flicks the reins, and you ride off with the 12 barrels of whiskey and wine.
Rain from above.
Kugaslayer once shared 100 Connor, your mustache sucks.
That's quite rude. How about you make a fist and sit on it? And then do a spin for me, a little twirl.
And as you ride away, we flash back to the Tall Tale Tavern. You are sitting around telling the story. Go ahead, Jackhole.
As I look over and I see a few years older now, Sailor Twift, working as a barmaid. And I go, hey, it's a true story, right? I mean, tell them, right?
She looks, I guess so, sir. I remember it a little differently, but I was covered in goo. And the barmaid that was originally there, I forget what we named her, so we'll name her Sasha now.
It's
Sasha.
Rose. It's Rose.
Well, no. Hold on.
Okay.
This one isn't Rosie. No, Sasha turns and goes, so this was all about Rosie's ex.
Yeah, he's a tool.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah.
A bit singed, if you ask me.
Wait, so he was a giant rabbit? That explains why she was smiling all the time with a rabbit.
Yeah, you know what they say about big ears.
Well, anyway, I have totally forgotten, Turk, and I'd like you to remind me, please, how we ended up determining the truth of this. I think it was a poll, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed.
So, while Turk, because I do not have the ability to do so, makes a poll, we're going to ask you, chat, is this story good enough, exciting enough, and thrilling enough for the bar to accept this as a legendary tall tale and make their bar tab nothing?
You work here.
Meanwhile, Sasha looks across, and you see on the other end of the bar, you do see Rosie basically going through and doing some prep work, and she turns back to you and just giggles and goes, "Oh, this is going to be great." So, good story, chat. Let's see what the poll goes. So, do we think it's true and exciting? True or just kind of
I also go, see, Sasha?
Oh.
And that's also how we got our very own special whale vomit ale that you guys serve around here. It's flammable, so...
Yes, and one of the bartenders has developed this way of pouring it between two mugs while it's on fire. The crowd seems to love it, so I guess we have you to thank for that, I guess.
Yeah. And that's also why Don McCracken hasn't ever regrown his mustache. So,
I always wondered about that.
it's
But
an important detail.
Yeah, you always wonder why a giant bunny doesn't have hair on its upper lip when the rest of it's covered in fur. It's a big deal. You notice those sort of things. Bunnies with bald patches.
wait, the bunny had lost his mustache too? I am very confused, but I'll go with it. That makes sense, I think. Ronald, as this tale winds down, and your companions are trying to convince Sasha and the bar of the truthfulness of this tale, all eyes have turned to you as they look for your input in wrapping this tale up.
Well, you happen to know the crater you all trip over every time you come to this tavern now? It's the big divot in the street. Well, I'll have you know, the driver of that carriage does not allow smoking anymore in his carriage. Because as I was lighting up my pipe, I seem to have let a spark drift to the ambergris that we were traveling with. And I didn't tell him when we left, so that's why the crater's in the middle of the street outside.
The crowd looks around, a little horrified, and we're almost ready with the poll. It's not looking great as the crowd starts to sort of murmur amongst themselves. Sasha turns, goes, I feel like this might be true, but Twift, is that really what happened? Basically, she turns and looks to the crowd and says, well then, do we all believe this to be true? They all go, yeah, that sounds right. I remember the ship blowing up. Yeah, man, it caught my ship on fire. Do we think that is a worthy tale to tell and get their bar tab cleared out? And one of them goes, hell no! Hell no! They caught my ship on fire! They fucking owe me money! And Sasha turns and goes, well, we did enjoy your tale, and we will mark it down in our book, but unfortunately, this is going to cost you. And Ronald, you did ask for the top shelf behind the safe top shelf. So your total bar tab, as we fade to black, you hear her say, 25 platinum, please.
Oh, shit.
And that's where we will wrap up our story for tonight. Thank you all. Thank you all for this tale. So what we're going to do is, for folks on the VODs and YouTube, thank you for being with us this evening. Really appreciate, love having you here. Please come join us live where you can participate and throw ideas at us and cause all sorts of chaos here in the Twitch chat, twitch.tv/the Grouch Couch. For everybody else, we are going to be back in just a very brief moment for our breakdown and wrap up. So thank you to the players. Thank you, Cookie. Thank you, Ronald. Thank you, Jackal Jones, for this thrilling tale of daring do and explosion.
It's me, Jackal Jones, coming here live from the Tall Tale Tavern for my podcast, Frank and Beans. That was a true story.
Nobody understands the nuances of diplomatic, talking and economic crises and how they work. It's a big nuanced system.
Cookie's smart as hell, apparently.
Cookie talks rock.
Cookie's like this psychiatry MD as a kobold. It's crazy.
Watch out for OSHA. Are you getting proper treatment? Okay. You need mental health help? That's good. We're gonna have an economic crisis when our docks fucking burn down. Cookie's just thinking about the community. That's all it is.
Yep.
The community.
That's right. Okay.
So we're gonna step away for just a moment. We'll re-roll the intro. We'll give folks time to take off their masks and makeup and things like that, and we'll be back for the breakdown in just a minute.